Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Corey. Welcome to CNA Films and Animation. Today, I'm going to be talking about a film that I feel, to a point, changed a generation of filmmaking. This was a film that was very big. I feel like it changed a movie genre for many films to come. And it was a big influence onto films in general. This film was the 1979 film from Francis Ford Coppola, Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now stars Martin Sheen as Captain Benjamin Willard, who is given instructions on a classified mission to find and kill Colonel Walter Kurtz, played by Marlon Brando. Pretty much, Martin Sheen's mission is to go on a giant odyssey, more or less, to go and kill this colonel who has gone rogue and has a lot of unorthodox ways of handling situations. And so he and a bunch of different soldiers, I guess, traveled by boat to go and kill this man, this American colonel. Many of the people on this boat don't know what they're doing. They're following Martin Sheen's orders. And the crew consists of Frederick Forrest as Chef Hicks, Sam Bottoms as Lance Johnson, Laurence Fishburn as Clean Miller, and Albert Hall as Chief Phillips. Now, these men, they go, like I said, go out on this long excursion to try and kill Marlon Brando. And along the way, they come across a lieutenant colonel, played by Robert Duvall, who gives one of the film's most famous lines, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning." And later, they come across a photojournalist, played by Dennis Hopper. First off, let me make a very distinct clarification. The film that I watched was the 2001 extended cut version of Apocalypse Now, called Apocalypse Now Redo, which is basically the same movie as the 1979 film, but it includes an extra 48 minutes of extra footage that is not seen in the original film. So they've made basically a 2.5 hour long movie to 3 hours and 15 minutes. And frankly, they do a fantastic job with it. I want to say this first off. I'm not a fan of war movies. I don't like them. I don't like war in general. I don't like the glorification of war that some films have on cinema, or on war in general, I guess. And there's only a couple of films that I feel like do a good job at representing what war is like. And I wouldn't say that this film does a good job at representing what war is like. This film I like for many different reasons than the war aspect, but I do think that it is a good war movie. This film is an adventure. It's a odyssey in a way. You know, you're following Martin Sheen's character from the very beginning, from the moment that he's given his mission by Harrison Ford, who has a very brief, small part in this movie, back before he was even Han Solo, which was rather neat. You follow him from the start of the mission up to the very end. And I feel that this movie does a fantastic job at grabbing your interest, holding it, and taking you through this long and tiresome journey. A lot of the things that happen in this film I don't agree with as a human being, but I understand it. There's a lot of things in this film that were very hard for me to watch, particularly the scene with the boat and the Viet Cong, and also a ritual sacrifice near the end of the film. For those of you who have seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. Both of those scenes I felt were very hard to watch. And, you know, aside from that, this film has very many strong achievements. The cinematography in this film is fantastic. There was at least one, if not more, camera work or camera movements that I thought were really interesting and really well done. This film won 2 Academy Awards, including Best Cinematography and Best Sound. It was also nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Robert Duvall, Best Director for Francis Ford Coppola, Best Writing for Adapted Screenplay, Best Art Direction, and Best Film Editing. The Cinematography Award, I feel, is very warranted. It does a fantastic job. I was surprised to see that Martin Sheen was not nominated for Best Actor. He does a fantastic job with his performance, and frankly, I felt that he is overlooked. And I am surprised also to see that this film lost to Kramer vs. Kramer. A very small film in comparison to this film. Some interesting tidbits about the film that I found were interesting. Marlon Brando, who has a big influence in the story, but is only on screen for a short amount of time. Apparently, he hadn't read the script. He didn't really want to be in this film. He was given $1 million up front to be in this film, and when he actually sat down and read the script, he didn't like it. He didn't like his lines. He wanted everything to be rewritten, and Francis Ford Coppola didn't want to do anything with it. But he wanted Brando to be in the film still. When Brando came to set, they figured that he had actually read the book that the film's based off of, and it turns out that he hadn't read the book, he hadn't read the script. He was 44. He was well overweight for the performance, which made the director freak out more or less. So that's why a lot of his scenes are shown with mostly just his face. He wanted to hide his belly, basically. A lot of Marlon Brando's lines are ad-libbed. They are not really from the script or from the book, which I found to be interesting. Another interesting thing was that Francis Ford Coppola had shot over 200 hours of film in the making of this film. The film was supposed to be set, it was supposed to take about 6 to 8 weeks, and it turned out to be 18 months, which is a very long overdue project for Hollywood. But I feel that they have done a fantastic job at making this story a very interesting one. I don't think it's a very honest representation of Vietnam. I don't know for a fact. I don't know much about Vietnam, but I did feel that it was a very good movie. It's a very impressive film, and it's one that I would recommend. If you haven't seen it, please take your time to sit down and watch this, because it is a very influential film. It's a very good one, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give Apocalypse Now a 9.4 out of 10. So tell me, guys, have you seen Apocalypse Now? If you have, what'd you think of it? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What'd you think of the performances in this film? Also, what is your favorite war movie? I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are what your favorite war movie is. Comment below, let me know. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. Be sure to check out our other videos. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Corey, and I will see you guys in the next one.